Hello everybody, I'm Master Wabbit, and I screwed something up. While I was making the next batch of recordings, I managed to get all the way to the very end of the game, exported all the videos, and the very first video that I made got lost. I have no idea. I'm utterly baffled as to why that happened. So, in the meantime, I speed ran the game, got to basically the same point, and this game's RNG is kind of weird. As you'll notice, it says back at the Black Wagon, you find the lone minstrel examining your fellow exiles after they secured victory over the Pyre Hearts with aplomb. We didn't face the Pyre Hearts last time. We faced off against the Withdrawn. But it's plain to you that none of them look well. Lone minstrel notices you there and turns to you. Reader the faster. Yep. Banishment sick at this time. Pamitha, Faye, and Volfred. Except, it was totally in an opposite order, right? It was Volfred, Frey, and Pamitha last time. So yeah, the stars yet shine for you, revealing various paths forward. You gaze into the darkness of night. So, in the original recording that I made for this video, the Glade of Lu was the area I went to, and I faced off against the Harpies. If I can face off against the Essence right now, that'd be great. At Jomur. Okay. So we got Howl of the Night Star and... Oh, sure. Alright. So, this is the Multiverse of Madness right here. Oh, we have the Withdrawn here as well. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, so in this particular run, I had already faced off against the Fate and the Essence, and the Withdrawn are going to be up next. Whereas in the original timeline, we didn't. So, solely for main story beats completion, this is why I'm doing this, because otherwise there'd be this weird jump that would make no sense. So yeah, welcome to the Wabbitverse of Madness, I guess. But I've been avoiding playing the Essence on this file because we should get some story solely based on those guys. Alright, so we're to have another brush with Tamitha. Perhaps she'll spare me yet another moment of her time. She's here because of me, and I am here for her. Pamitha then tells you more of your next adversary, her own blood sister. By the way, I speed ran all this, so that's why there's a lot of flashy text. Tamitha Thane, a harp of the High Wing Remnants, raised from birth to excel in outwitting and outmaneuvering her enemies. She seems driven by her hatred for the Commonwealth. After retreating to the mountains centuries ago, the harps refused to join the Commonwealth, and those old tensions boiled over into raids or skirmishes or all-out war. Flight technicians such as Tamitha gave the High Wing Remnants a swift and powerful military presence to this day, despite the Harps' small numbers. She once hatched ambitious plans to overthrow the Commonwealth, breaching its defenses so her sisters could rain down untold destruction. On the darkest night of the year, she led a daring infiltration mission deep into her enemy's lands. It almost worked. However, she was betrayed by someone very close to her. Someone branded a Commonwealth sympathizer, Pamitha. Tamitha was caught, clipped, and subsequently exiled as a prisoner of war, but being trapped within the downside only stoked her fury. I wound up in here not too long afterwards. Anyway, it's complicated. What happened to Tinas, what I did for her own good, and that of all our sisters. Though I'm beginning to doubt that Tamitha will ever see it that way. We'll see, I suppose, but for now, I'd best try and catch what sleep I'm able. Pleasant dreams then, darling. You bid a goodnight to Pamitha in turn. No time now to make flight preparations, though come morning, the Black Wagon will press onward. Alright. Oh, there's Tizo. Page revealed for the Pyre Hearts. Yep. There's a lore episode. Spoiler alert, it's a doozy. Alright, Tizo. You find Tizo there in the Black Wagon, looking rather more despondent than usual. When you attempt to reach out to him, he barely acknowledges you. Tizo indicates that he wishes to be left alone right now. You almost run into Faye as you turn to leave. Oh, I'm sorry, mister. I just wanted to come check on little Tizo there. I think maybe he's taken ill or something? On further inspection, it occurs to you that Faye perhaps is not off the mark, and that Tizo is unwell for some reason. Come on, Tizo. You're going to be all right. You might be the smallest one of us, but I think you're the toughest. Though, Miss Dodariel, she was the toughest one of all, wasn't she? I so miss her sometimes. Tizo appreciates the kind words, but still wishes to be left alone at this time. Oh, don't be silly, Tizo. You know I won't be doing that, don't you? Faye turns to you for a moment, lowering her voice. Mister, I think Tizo would like a little bit of privacy, if you don't mind, though I don't mean to be rude. It's just, Tizo, well, I told him not to eat something. There was this, well, I think it was a mushroom, maybe, growing in the corner over there. So I see Tizo sniffing at it, and he's always hungry, and usually I try to feed him, but this time I told him no, because I know my mushrooms, and whatever that was, I think it was a mushroom, but it wasn't one I know. Well, Tizo ate it anyway. Tizo corroborates Faye's recollection of what happened. So, anyway, I think that he is going to maybe, well, cough it up, I guess, I think, maybe, any moment now. Because when I ate things I thought were mushrooms around here, I coughed them up as well. They made me rather sick, kind of like Tizo over there. I hope that I'm not being inappropriate because it's not polite, maybe? Oh, come to think of it, Tizo, why don't we go outside? Because then I won't have to clean up after you, like the last time when you ate something I said maybe you shouldn't, remember? Tizo indicates he remembers full well and regrets not heeding Faye's food-related counsel. Boy, I wish I was told of this before. Oh, wait, I did in the previous recording. Yeah, deja vu. Lots of deja vu. Oh, don't worry, silly. If you've taken ill, then I think you're going to be fine. Once you have a little walk outside with me, because you're very tough. Tizo is beginning to look better already. You're my best friend, Tizo. I won't let anything bad happen to you. Or at least, I'll try, okay? I don't think anyone could stop you from eating things, though. Then she snatches Tizo up in her arms and whisks him out of the wagon with her. You hear her call back to you over her shoulder. Bye, mister. I'll make sure that Tizo is all right, I promise, okay? Although the prospect of Faye administering medical assistance normally would give you pause, Tizo seems to accompany her willingly enough. The two have shared a rather close bond since Faye first made contact with the group. For someone like her who has lived alone for so long, the friendship must be vital. And as for Tizo, he must be impressed that a non-native of the downside seems to know her way around food safety even better than he. All right. Well, let's head off to the Glade of Lou. But I think it's more important to be facing off against the same opponents I did in the original recording than the same area. I think in this, we got Bertrude and we have good supply of Stardust. Nah. All right. I'm going to check something real quick. Settings, options, standard. Right. So this, I'm going to turn hurry text off because speedrunning this game, you hold down X to go across everything. I think I want aim assist off. There we go. Perfect. There we go. Just making sure everything's good. Nobody wants to chit-chat in the wagon, so let's locate the missing drive imps. Your intentions to explore the rocky pathfalls of Fall Flat were dashed when, on your arrival, several of the wagon's strong-willed drive imps escaped. Fortunately, their disposition towards mischief proves predictable enough, and soon all the imps are once again accounted for. However, Bertrude also has a nasty bite to show for it. Pathetic creatures that would bare their teeth against us. You dress the minor wound, which ought to heal soon, but the incident took much of your remaining time this day and left both of you and Bertrude awaiting its merciful conclusion. Bertrude lost 2 quickness for the fight. Next, Rite. Wish her a swift recovery. And we're going to be forced to use her. Oh! Hey, Bertrude, what's up? You notice Bertrude studying the Beyonder Crystal. She sets it down as you approach. The mouthy wraith rebuketh our attempt to summon her. She insisteth that we are too young to understand. Well, that's impressive. She must be referring to Sandra. It seems that Bertrude may be able to invoke her. Stubborn that one, possessing of an ancient understanding, olden ways and olden times. Many centuries of history, knowledge of the 8 scribes themselves had captive there, within that green-tinged stone, within that wraith's own memories. Would that we could extract them in some way. Perhaps thou couldst induce the wraith's obedience, reading one. For she heedeth not, she claimeth obligations unto only thee. Although... She stops and thinks very carefully. The Beyonder Crystal is not to be tampered with. Your fellow exiles know that its use is at your sole discretion. She backs away from you, still thinking to herself. Ignorest thee our inquiries about this, reading one. Our reasoning has taken us elsewhere. Her refusal to cooperate is like to be an ancient warning of some sort. 'Tis possible the others of the southern bogs know something of her, but we shall not be tampering further with such sorceries ourselves. That the wraith refuseth to cooperate suggesteth her predicament is suitably deserved. She heads out in a huff, but just as the air grows still and quiet, you sense something from the Beyonder crystal. Mouthy wraith, she says. Can you believe it, reader? Ah, to be so young and foolish again. Seriously, how is Bertrude young? Sandra the Unseeing laughs to herself. Your proximity to the Beyonder crystal must have been sufficient to invoke her in this case. That crone of yours is far too curious, I think, but it appears that even she had learned her lesson in this case. Thank the stars I am beholden to no more than one among you Nightwings at a time, and thank the stars that happens to be you rather than her. And if that crone attempts to lay her fingers on my Beyonder crystal again, I shall just have to torment her dreams till she's my age. Do feel free to mention that if it comes up. Now, farewell. You know where to find me, lovely reader. She vanishes. It seems that Sandra proved resistant to Bertrude's tampering. If so much history is trapped within the Beyonder crystal, there it shall remain for the foreseeable future. Years exiled, 21. Oh, it doesn't say her age. It just says how long that they've been exiled. Still, that is not someone who's young. Saying as someone who's not young himself at all. Okay. Continue along our journey.
You are nothing, reader. Nothing but a mindless simpleton. Your every action is a stain upon the legacy of the 8 scribes. The rites have been a long-held secret to keep out those such as you.
You wake from what little sleep you managed this past night. Once more, the voice tormented you within your dreams. You attempt to rid your memory of it. This is also why I felt like I needed to come back and replay this section, because the main story beats still happen. The small character interactions are a little different. Oh, deep in the dusty waste of Jomir Valley, you find a messenger imp looking to bring you the latest news and rumors from the other side. This time around, the imp brings tidings of Sir Gilman and what happened to him since his liberation at the fall of Solium, when, at last, his self-imposed exile came to an end. You learn that his return to the Commonwealth was met with much rejoicing, and that before long he was promoted to the rank of Veiled Captain on the Blood Border. And yet, with tears welling in his eye, he did refuse the post, stating he no longer had the heart to fight against the High-Wing remnants as he once did. He then cast down his helmet, and when next anyone saw him, he was among Volfred's agents, having joined the revolution to reshape the Commonwealth from within. You thank the messenger imp for the report, and salute it crisply as surely Gilman would have. Soon the news has everyone in the wagon talking. Noble Gilman made the gallant choice, it seems. Our plan comes closer to fruition through his good example and support. Tizo feels inspired by the news of Gilman's selfless actions. Do you think that one day I can be as brave as him? Because I don't always think I can. The tears he shed ought to have been bottled and thus set aside for use in various salves. One of the Sea Dominion's own, laying down his arms by his own choice. I'm honestly surprised, even having known him. The news of Gilman's liberation fills you and your fellow exiles with newfound resolve. Your companions gain plus 1 hope for the next rite. Wish him good fortune. I should also mention that in this speedrun to get to this point, multiverse thing, I haven't really bought a lot from the Slug Mart. Hey, it's you guys again. Just come on in and have a look around at all the stuff I got, okay? I got some good new stuff here pretty recently. Maybe you've seen it before, maybe not, I don't know. Oh, thank goodness, permanently gaining 1 quickness. So yeah, I have a couple of artifacts I don't think I had in the OG playthrough. Or at least the original playthrough. There we go. Permanently gain plus 1 hope. That's going to be good. Proceed. Yeah, we're good. I didn't buy the rings from him. These cursed talismans I don't care for. They're leaving, Dad. Just look how much we got this time. Yep, that's a lot of stuff. Alright, I need to go through here. So... Unwell and Unwell. So we need to play with Bertrude, Tizo, and Volfred. Alright. Let me just make sure. Alright, so who's getting +1 quickness? That is probably going to be Bertrude. There we go. +1 hope. Gotta be Bertrude. There we go. Yeah, that book is gonna stay glowy. I'm so sorry. Alright, let's commence the Rite. And the correct opponent's just the wrong space. Because it's gonna... What can I say? I screwed up, and this is the best possible option that I could think of to actually get it, you know, the weird gap in the story. Because a lot just happened there. We have the news of Sir Gilman. We have that moment with Bertrude and the Beyonder Crystal. That moment with Tizo. I totally forgot to read that. Oops. Throughout all the ceremony, you realize Pamitha is nowhere to be found. The last anybody saw of her was shortly after the Black Wagon came to rest here at the Spring of Jemur. She returns just as you are beginning to plan a search for her. Sorry to have worried you there, reader darling. Just getting a little antsy is all. Had to go and spread my wings a bit and shake away the nerves. She is holding something back. Don't you get in my head. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth, damn it. Damn you, reader. Get out, get out, get out! Anyhow, it looks as if the show's about to start. I shall be in the field with the others. As Pamitha departs, you see she is right, as the stars above begin to shine. You know she is about to face her sister, Tamitha, once again. You accept that it is a very private matter between them. So, the one thing that I definitely remembered doing on my previous playthrough is that I finished off all the Titan stars. Because we have Dullness the Locket. Anytime your adversary's Pyre shall recover up to +5 each time they douse your Pyre.
Dullness the Locket.
And we have the Tattered Mantle. Not Scarf, Mantle. After your adversary's grasp the auras shall slowly shrink. Auras shall slowly shrink rather than vanish.
The Tattered Mantle.
With these two, this will complete the book. At least in the original run. Technically, it's still the same thing here in this speed run because I was playing it on easy mode just to get to this point as quickly as possible. It took like 2 days to get over to here. It was
Rita,
something.
I am still very cross with you, you know.
I'm sure you are.
To think I saw in you a worthy heir. Not just to the legacy of the Nightwings, but to the future of the Commonwealth. That traitor Volfred. Only a fool would be seduced by his audacious promises and his dangerous ideas. That, dear reader, would make you a fool. I have no choice but to explain it thus, so even you could understand. Now for this blasted Rite. Some of us still have our duties to uphold.
The winged exiles of the Essence take position opposite your own companions, and their leader soon asserts herself. Pamitha, come forth. No trickery this time. She appears as asked, though remains silent as her blood sister studies her for a time. Tamitha then reaches for her mask. You look weary to me, sister. Oh, too little sleep, I guess. I do get rather anxious sometimes. On the night before one of these things, it can be a lot of pressure. Understandable. The two of them say nothing for a time. You cannot discern what they are thinking. The high-wing remnants all seem to be very mentally acute, trained as they are from birth. Soon enough, Pamitha cuts through the tension, her tone light as ever. So, given further thought to my proposal then? I have. And I think that now is not the time for talk. Besides, your comrades there, surely you give them pause. Even now they must be questioning your loyalty. What? But I... Oh, cut it with the stammering, Pamitha. It is very unbecoming, you know that. And you be sure to tell those comrades of yours what you proposed to me. She dons her mask once more. As she rejoins the other exiles of the Essence, Pamitha hesitates before returning to your group. I told her she could take my place. That I would keep her up to date about our progress and that she could take my place if ever it was time for me to go. But you don't have to worry. For one thing, she refused. And for another, well, I'd better tell you later. For now, remember, you can count on me.
Choose now your band of traitors.
Roster bio updated for Tamitha. After the fall of the Empire, all the tribes and nations it subsumed began to work together to rebuild, all but one. Some harps retreated to their ancestral mountain homes. Tensions grew and war erupted many times since then. She vowed to put an end to it. She orchestrated an ambitious plot to overthrow the Commonwealth from within. But at a key point in the mission, she was betrayed by a Commonwealth sympathizer, her own sister. She was caught, clipped, and exiled as a prisoner of war, but remained steadfast in her ultimate goal. So I need to play as these three characters. Wolfred, Tizo, and Bertrude. How they spew their threats, the winged ones. We soon shall see if they can back them up. Face us, wastrels of the Commonwealth. The pain and loss of your defeat this night shall reverberate not only in your hollow hearts, but in the homeland that abandoned you. I thought it said homeland and that abandoned you. Wow, I am super tired. Are you quite sure it has to be this way then, sister? There is no compromise here, Pamitha, not for traitors to my country or my blood. I understand. Then so be it. So, I won this match in the original recording that I made for this game. Nope. Nope. Uh-oh. Nope. I'm taking this. Yoinks! So those numbers are a little off because I have been purposefully avoiding the Nope. Oh, whoops. Screw that one up. Nope. Ah! So this needs to be a win in order to preserve what little time-space continuum there is. No. Thanks for the money. That's not going to be useful.
Do you believe you can prevail in this?
Dunk!
Empire's flames grow weak.
How patently absurd to be losing once more to this filth. Is this what you wanted, Pamitha? To get inside my head? Damn you, that I cannot get you out. Ever the burden, little sister. Ever the burden. Stand ready then, you dregs of the Commonwealth. My sisters shall vanquish you here as our sisters on the other side shall tear apart your nation. No, you don't. I'm taking this. Haha! Yeah, you're supposed to throw with him, not dunk. That's just bad mouthing. Uh-oh. Tizo? Tizo? No, you don't.
And it is done.
Phew! Time-space continuum completed.
Nightwings prevailed somehow. Alas, that their adversaries failed to stop them. Thus end this night's proceedings.
You win, blood sister, you win. I don't suppose that means you'll reconsider. You know that I cannot. You were always obstinate, but in that regard and all others which count for anything, you are inferior to me. Remember that. What you offered is meaningless to me. I shall free myself without your help, or that of anyone. Now then, farewell. Wait, what of your comrades, the Essence? You must need them, at least. Mincing my words as ever, Pamitha. Know that I do love you, in a way. Is that what you wish to hear? But my purpose is plain, and you stand in its way. You are a fool to think my freedom is my goal. My freedom is a means towards an end of the likes of which you would never abide. Do you think that you could sway me from my purpose, Pamitha? Pamitha remains silent for some time. No, I think that you will struggle to destroy the Commonwealth no matter what it takes, no matter if, in doing so, you are destroyed instead. Just so. So then, you understand me, after all. Pamitha does not turn to watch her blood sister depart.
There is much to learn from this experience.
Yeah, by the way, these levels are totally different than what they are in the original run. Fortunately, it's only this one episode that I need to make, rather than 8. Oh, goodness.
I eagerly await our next such outing.
Interestingly enough, going through the entire campaign up to this point, there's a lot of RNG, at least encounter-wise. There's still a bunch of stuff that happens, main story-wise, regardless. There proves little time for rest at the Black Wagon after your fellow exiles thwarted the Essence in a decisive victory. Those afflicted with banishment sickness seem to be doing better, at least, and express gratitude to Volfred, Tizo, and Bertrude for their efforts. Volfred was still... Oh, hang on. Oh, right. It was 2 of them, not 3. Volfred was just standing there wanting to be left alone. Just then the lone minstrel appears before you. No words escape his lips. You can guess full well what he has come to indicate to you, and follow him back out into the darkness. The stars above seem to be few and fading, and yet one still shines, defiant. The path to freedom reveals itself once more. Seek it out! We are to face off against... Well, it's going to be different this time. Because in this run, it's Udmild and her gang, the Withdrawn. However, it's going to be the Fate. Let me just check it. Yeah, it's going to be the Fate, actually, for the next episode. Just as a heads up, it does juggle about through some means of RNG of who gets to be playing when. It's interesting that on repeat playthroughs you can get even different talismans. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, you notice that the lone minstrel is standing there with you, regarding the night sky. The Gate Guardian and I, we have paid witness to the liberation rites upon the fall of Solium for a long time. We have seen so much. And so, I am a bit taken aback, is all, to see something which I have never seen. You look upon the stars together for a while, then... I wish for you good fortune and the wisdom of the scribes on your ascent. The lone minstrel leaves you there alone under the night. It has grown very late, and you need rest. The Black Wagon shall have to take flight again, come morning. Oh, but someone wants to chit-chat with us. Despite Pamitha's mental conditioning, you can tell something is troubling her. She won't listen to a word I say, not one damn word. If she weren't my blood sister, I should think I'd hate her guts as much as she hates mine. She shakes her head. I should apologize to you and everyone. I sought out Tamitha without asking your leave. Figured I would rather seek forgiveness than permission, you understand. My attempts with Tamitha didn't amount to much, as you well saw. So at this point, I'm hopeful you'll be more accepting of apologies than she. Though tell me something, reader darling. Do you suppose I'm going to betray you? You may know better than I do at this point. Pamitha wishes to know where you think her loyalties lie. She's made quite clear that her priority is to her blood sister, but honestly, loyalty has to be earned. You believe she will stand with the Nightwing. Say that you trust her. You express to Pamitha that you do not view her efforts to make peace with Tamitha as being contradictory to the group's larger goals. You understand why she did what she did. She says nothing for a while. That's kind of you to say, darling. May the others see it with such generosity. But if they don't, you need but tell me to depart, and I'll be on my way. However, I've a promise that I'd wish to make to you. You let me stay, and I'll see this through, with all of you, no matter where we all end up. I'll be on the roof for a bit, I think. You take care too, darling. Despite Pamitha's disappointment with the outcome of her confrontation with her blood sister, you sense she is less troubled now, after your brief conversation. Oh, isn't that wonderful? Yes, shiny book, I'm going to ignore you. And with that, the timelines from the original to this will begin to converge. Next time, it is actually going to be not as weird as this. How do I put this? When you screw something up, kids, make sure you have a plan that doesn't involve speed running a game for like 5 continuous hours just to get to this point. And also don't let's play games that only use autosaves. That's kind of a pain in the butt. But it's a fantastic game regardless. And until next time, when we face off against the Fate in the Fall of Solium, It's going to seem weird that next episode I kind of reference what happened here against the Essence, but it'll still work out kind of in the end. Just pretend we totally kicked their butts in the Glade of Lu, and pretty much everything else is the same. Okay? So, until next time, everybody, take care.